When the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Welcome to the best soccer show, the best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go. It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Jared DuBois, live on a Wednesday. Back at it. Got the phone lines open. Ready to talk about soccer. We're not talking about anything else that just happened or didn't happen. We're not talking about Jared's shirt. We're just going to get right into...
Don't start deflecting. Don't start deflecting.
Deflecting
here.
what?
You got keeper skills? You're just parrying shots all over the place over here?
I didn't make my internet go down as we attempted to start the show.
You couldn't make anything go down, let alone internet.
I'm not sure where to go with that. What is so? Explain that one to me.
No, I won't.
Making things. Okay, all right, whatever. We're here. We're live. It's time to talk American soccer on the best soccer show. Jared, well, there's a couple places we can go. I think has become the tradition on this show.
Oh yes,
we start with what Nikki Soup and Sausage this week. We've had other people do it. Morgan's done it before, but Nikki Soup and Sausage put together for our thumbnail for the show this week, and this is one of the interesting things that happens now behind the scenes is we have to debate what current news item merits some.
Okay, I need to come clean here. I don't know what this is.
I haven't seen this movie. I know that I know of this movie, but I haven't seen this movie.
All right, Nick's freaking out, and this was his submission, right? I didn't know what it was. I stayed out of it.
I will let Nick come in and explain what's going on here in a second. Okay, well he's here. I didn't even invite you. Okay, come back in. No, don't do that. Don't show up and then go away.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
I was going to ask Jared based on what he's seen from that image. Did you see the original?
No.
Okay, so you don't know who those people are.
No, I don't.
You just know that Don Garber's
so you want to try to guess?
Oh, we could totally make that a game. That should be a game for the bonus show.
You want to do it for the bonus show? You don't want to tell him now?
No, the chat will give it away real quick.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't look. I'm covering it up. I'm not looking. I won't look.
Okay. Do we? I mean, it's not.
We should do it now because I have to look at the chat at some point.
Okay.
So bring up the thumbnail.
Okay.
All right. Let's bring up the thumbnail.
Now this is the original name of the movie, right?
Yes, this is the name of the movie.
Yeah. So
all right. So I got a few things I can go on here.
Okay. Let me give the context of why we picked this or why we did this. Right. So Don Garber and Lionel Messi this week or last week, whatever, with The Athletic, Don Garber said that the league would be flexible. They would find some way to compensate Lionel Messi in a creative manner to convince him to come play soccer in the United States for Inter Miami. So that's why we picked Mr. Garber and Mr. Messi. And I think what I love about this and why Nick is a genius is because the heights work really well. Like Don Garber's not the tallest guy, but Lionel Messi's a little guy. So I love that works on that level. But go ahead, Jared.
So what I have to figure out here, there's a few things to go on. And for the podcast listeners, I apologize, but bring this up and you can take a look at it as well. There's definitely a height disparity between the two people. So my first thing is I have to decide, is this a child and an adult or two adults and one of them short?
Yes, right. Which one is it?
Based on the Iron Man watch that the small person is wearing, I don't think it's a child. Okay. And there's also a gold chain, a very thin gold chain.
Yes, there is a gold chain.
So I'm guessing this is like a cop buddy kind of thing. So it is kind of like a cop looking thing. And the one of them is a small adult and a large. So like the tall one's like a Judge Reinhold kind of look to him.
Okay. You're not too far off. I'm gonna give you credit for that. Yeah, that's you're close for sure.
And then the smaller one. Now the skin tone of the wrist doesn't match Leo Messi's neck, so he's got a little bit darker skin tone. But it's almost like
Detective Jared DuBois.
I'm gonna say he is of Latin descent, like a John Leguizamo or something like that.
Well, Lionel Messi's of Latin descent.
Yeah, but darker.
Also Italian,
darker.
But
He's pretty light-skinned Argentinian.
Okay,
man.
you think the original person is darker than Lionel Messi?
Yeah,
and
I mean, maybe it's not dark enough, but the look and size is like a Martin Lawrence kind of figure, but I don't think the wrist skin is dark enough to be Martin Lawrence.
Okay, so you don't want to go with Martin.
But I'll go Martin Lawrence because it looks like his shape.
So you're saying yes to Martin. You're locking
sure,
it in.
Martin Lawrence and Judge Reinhold.
It is Martin Lawrence, and you're wrong on the Judge Reinhold. Do you want me to give you hints in that direction?
Yeah, give me like one.
Okay.
There's a soccer tie.
Another what?
There's a soccer tie.
Oh, is it Will
soccer
Ferrell? Because I
tie?
almost said it's Will Ferrell.
No, it's not Will Ferrell.
Oh,
Will Ferrell
okay.
was okay.
You don't know the soccer tie?
I don't.
Do I know
Martin Lawrence?
what ties this person to
It's
soccer?
a very vague soccer tie, but there is a soccer tie.
I don't want to get in. That's not how Jared's going to get there. Jared's going to get there through a pop culture thing, and the only way I can
give me a hint.
I can get you there by saying that this is his heyday was certainly the '90s, and he was in a run of very popular movies in the 1990s. Also,
as a leading man, or just like as the other guy?
Occasionally as a leading man, mostly as sort of the comic. He's a comic. He's a funnier guy. He's a funny guy.
Oh, it's not like Jim Carrey though, or anything.
No,
not that. High
okay, I'll give you
profile.
another hint. Not married, but famously partnered with a very famous actress, with a very accomplished actress.
Oh, Tim Robbins.
There you go, Tim Robbins.
It does have a Tim Robbins look to him. Okay.
Yeah, this
So
is
what is
nothing to lose.
what is the connection to? Oh, because Kyle Martino
Sarandon's
is
daughter
okay. Yeah.
is married to Kyle
Kyle
Martino.
Martino.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Wait, whose daughter?
Susan Sarandon's daughter.
Susan
daughter.
Sarandon's
But it's not
daughter,
Tim Robbins' daughter.
But not Tim Robbins' daughter. Tim
It's
Robbins'
his
stepdaughter?
Yeah.
I don't.
Stepdaughter.
Yeah,
probably,
stepdaughter.
I don't know.
Stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter. Yes, believe.
Shout out to Kyle Martino.
Yeah, who I saw that long ago. Saw him in January.
Of course you
in
did.
In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the coaches convention. He was just hanging out, just like standing around, being cool, being Kyle Martino.
Well, now I know that
That's-
movie exists. So
And he's
appreciate it.
working.
Thanks, Nick.
Kyle Martino is part of the U.S. soccer crew for the HBO Turner weird Warner Media thing. You know about that, Jared?
I don't, but okay.
You don't. You do know about that. The games are on HBO Max and all that.
Oh yeah. That one.
Kyle
yeah.
Martino's part of that team.
If you had said
He's part of
national
that
team, it would have put it together for me. I'm start my head's spinning from the Galazzo thing today and all this other
So
stuff. So.
neither one of you had seen Nothing to Lose before?
I might have, but it's
I
one of
don't
those
think I
kind
even
of
heard of
like
it.
Do you want the plot?
No.
Martin Lawrence does something he needs to make up for. He
Are
stole
they two cops
something.
and they're just two different kind
Not
of cops?
What's happening?
Okay.
They're not cops.
We've done 12 minutes on Nothing to Lose. Can we go to the MLS?
Technically not 12 because we started late.
Yeah, it's his fault.
Oh, I also forgot something.
What'd you forget?
He's gonna put it. Oh. For the podcast listeners,
all right.
Nick has now completed the look, what we call your NBC look, your WNBC look,
Fox
your
Sports.
Fox look. Of now we are Nick. Only Nick is apparently sponsored by DoorDash.
I mean, we're
in
not
his
getting
background.
anything from them. This
No, we're
is pure free advertising for DoorDash.
If only
I think in my head for some reason I had it as DraftKings or something instead of DoorDash, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, we just put up a banner that says like, some cut rate.
Look at
bookie that
Nick
no one would
preparing
ever
bits
use.
that we didn't even know about.
I
Preparing
know.
bits.
I know. We did not clear that in the
We didn't
pre-show
realize
meeting.
how much when he went to 410s. We didn't realize how much spare time he was going to have. Ever since he went to 410s at work,
good
my
point.
man's got time.
Man's on 410s, and now he's like, Jason, I made like 7 short videos last week. Let's go. Like, okay.
Vince says use JD and the Rod for 50% off your next DoorDash order. Let us know if it works.
I'm an Uber Eats man myself. No, actually, I don't use any of those services. I've
we
never
use DoorDash,
really.
but it comes free with we have a credit card where we get free, like the DoorDash is free.
What's the other?
part of it.
Grubhub? Grubhub.
Yeah.
You know what I like to do? Find the listing for the restaurant that I want to order from through Grubhub or whatever. Then call them and say, I want to place an order. And if you order correctly and sort of ask it nicely, they'll be like, oh, you ordered directly and we don't have to pay Grubhub for this? Extra food. Here you go. Free stuff.
I think that's
Like, thank
I
you.
think that's fake.
You
I don't
think
think
that's
that
fake?
happens.
It's happened to
I don't
me.
thi-
It's happened
happened
to
to
me. Yeah. I've gotten stuff thrown in. I literally had a restaurant owner say, thank you for calling us directly and not using Grubhub. I'll give you extra food. Here, have an appetizer. I'm like, that's awesome. Thank you. And I'm supporting local businesses. I feel like a great citizen. I feel wonderful about my
Congratulations to you.
contributions. All right,
Use
let's
the
talk
code
about
Jason
Messi.
Davis at your local store.
Let's talk about Messi and Garber at MLS. Look, this isn't like some huge advancement in the possibility of Lionel Messi arriving in Major League Soccer. And of course, Jared, if MLS wants to get Messi here, they're going to find some way to get Messi here. He's transformative in that way. He's
Yeah, they can
David
only take it so
Beckham.
far, though. At the end of the day, he has to want to be here.
Yeah.
And we can set the table really nicely for him but there's a lot of Saudi teams and stuff like that that got the same kind of money, if not more, to throw around.
Sure.
But we can. There are some other intangibles that MLS can put out there.
I think those are significant ones, but you're going to have to make a healthy offer. And again, I think you go back to 2007. You think about the whole David Beckham's making $250 million to play for the LA Galaxy. Well, he wasn't making $250 from the LA Galaxy. He was making $250 total in a deal with Adidas and all this other stuff. So you're going to have to put together a package. You know, it's going to be an offer package for Lionel Messi.
What do you think about? So Don Garber's son, like we may have to put on our best dress, and we may have to steal it from a store because we can't afford it to look the best we can for this ball. And what do you think about him? Is it weird for them to finally say the quiet part out loud? Because this is the kind of thing you knew always was happening. But it took a Grant Wall book and things like that to really kind of understand how it all worked behind the scenes. They were not open about all this Beckham stuff ahead of time. Like, it was not disclosed that they were bending a lot of this stuff, but you knew it was happening.
Hold on. They didn't bend anything from the league's rule perspective.
Sorry, they created new rules. Is that better?
Well, Tim Leiweke went into a Board of Governors meeting and said, we think we can get David Beckham. And he probably got laughed at. And he said, no, seriously. But obviously we can't pay him based on the scale that we have right now in MLS 2007. So we need some way to figure this out. And here's what we think. I'm assuming that AEG and Leiweke and the Galaxy kind of formulated the idea for the DP rule. Or maybe they went to Todd Durbin and he formulated the rule. I actually don't know that part of the story. I don't remember if that's in Grant's book. But it sort of set the tone for MLS being a league that will adjust on the fly. And I would rather... Look, if MLS can't be the Premier League in terms of spending power, which they would go, the league would go belly up in a year or two if they tried to spend significant amounts more money than they're making, and they're not making a lot of money right now, right? We know revenues are relatively low, that clubs aren't really in the black, rather. There are a lot of them that are in the red, even with the valuations going crazy, and so it takes spinning out ahead of that revenue to sort of make the league work, right? So if MLS can't be spending on the level of a top 5 European league right now, then I would want them as a fan to not close the door on things. Oh no, sir, we have rules. Lionel Messi in Major League Soccer, we can't make it work.
It's not going to be. It can't be just money. It can't be just money. It has to be something else. If for Beckham, it was the ability to come in at rock bottom for a franchise.
Yeah, you can offer Messi that. I
if you did, I want to play a game on this real quick.
There's a report that part ownership of Inter Miami might be on the table, but go ahead.
Okay, but let's say it is more of a Beckham style. Like, hey, you get first option at a franchise in a specific city. My question to you, Jason, where is that city? If you're Messi and you're the MLS, what is the city that you say yes to, or what is the city you're trying to push that want it to be Messi specific? You got 2 in LA already. You got 2 in New York.
Well, they're still the problem for them in Las Vegas is they don't really have an ownership group that's willing to step up and build a stadium. Messi's not going to be the lead owner. I don't think he's billions deep.
But no, it's the name. It's the name.
He's got enough, and he would drive investment. He would bring people in the front door with their money saying, yes, please, how can we get involved
Can I throw something interesting at you?
Yeah.
Here's my suggestion. Off the wall, next level, thinking outside the box, way that works for both MLS and the direction that they've been going anyway. Cabo San Lucas.
No, I mean, come on.
A Mexican team in MLS. How much does MLS want that?
MLS already got special dispensation for Canada to have teams in Major League Soccer. Sorry, Vince. They're not going to.
Wait, special dispensation from whom?
From FIFA.
Okay, what does FIFA like?
Money, but they don't like money so much that they're going to encroach on Mexican territory when Mexico's an established footballing country.
What does Mexico want more than anything else these days?
The reason Canada has teams in MLS is because they didn't have a first division of their own. Mexico does. Mexico would be pissed.
We just got done talking about...
The FMS can be like, yes, please, come in, take... Cabo San Lucas has like 12,000 people, but sure, go ahead. Have that place from us.
Travel destination for American tourists, not far away, not much farther than going to LA. You couldn't do Mexico City or something like that. It doesn't have good representation in FMF already. So... we're already talking about Messi is going to take rule bending, right?
No,
and MLS and Mexico are finding every way to work together to try to make money.
The answer to this is Vegas. It's Vegas. It's Vegas. It's Vegas. It's Vegas. It could be Phoenix, but I don't think Messi wants to. I mean, first of all,
Phoenix,
Messi doesn't have
gross.
to be. He doesn't have to be in the city and like standing on the sideline.
No one wants to
or
be
even
in Phoenix, dude.
a BMR here. This is actually more after my heart. BMR saying San Juan. Can we put a team in San Juan
God.
with Lionel Messi? Why not? Why not? Let's do it. Soccer's never worked.
I
Professional
don't
soccer's never
see
worked
it.
in Puerto Rico, but let's do it anyway. I would love that. I'm going there twice.
My
three
idea is
times a
way
year.
better than that one. Way better than that
No,
one.
why? Why is it better?
Because
better?
MLS and Mexico are trying desperately to work together. They want to be in bed together.
Your
They may
idea
even
is hold on. Your idea is better in a dream world where the FMF just lets them like come on in, have a seat.
No, I'm
in our
talking
country.
dual load. I bet you FMS is like, cool, we get a cut.
This is like a shakedown. Like you're making
Have
this
you
like
not
some mob
watched like
deal.
all the documentaries on FIFA? Everything's a shakedown. No rule
You're
is
not
not
wrong
meant to be
about that.
broken. Every
Okay.
rule is meant to be broken if the price is right in FIFA.
Look, I was living more in reality. I was like, just give him MLS HQ, a piece of property that he can own outright. Like we don't forget here, Mr. Messi, please take our house. Like I kind of feel like that's the way you should do this. Not necessarily.
I'm just
like,
saying, if MLS and FMF and Messi want to play 4D chess, you find a spot in Mexico to give them a team and bring MLS have representation in
I
Mexico.
just don't know why Mexico specifically because the relationship with the
every single thing they can do, they're doing together, and it's in the United States. Like
Okay.
Mexico wants American
you
dollars
want this
so bad.
Hold on, you want this to directly benefit the growth of soccer in America. Do you think that anybody in Middle America is going to pay attention if Lionel Messi gets a team in Causa and Lucas or wherever you're talking, Puerto Vallarta, whatever you're talking about? Like, I don't know. That's not a. Is that a thing? Like, is that like? Oh, this is now on the American sports radar. Lionel Messi is playing in MLS. Even if the teams in Mexico, they're like, what is happening
MLS
here?
be
I don't
the
understand
first
any of this.
true continental league.
I don't think that is happening. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just saying. Like we're talking about bending rules, we might as well bend them big. But
Yeah,
that's okay. I
throw
agree
the
with you.
image
It's
one more
not
time.
likely.
Throw the image one more time, just so we can take a look at it. Tim Robbins, Don Garber in the role of Tim Robbins, and Lionel Messi in the role of
They got nothing
Martin
to
Lawrence.
lose.
Good pull. Nothing to lose. Try to get Mexican football to let Lionel Messi put an MLS
Okay,
franchise.
but back in the
country.
realm of reality, I agree with you. Vegas has been something that the league has tried to shoehorn. It's the biggest opportunity that hasn't been capitalized yet inside the United States. And if anyone had the clout to do it and the ability to do it, it's Messi and someone with money, like a Jorge Mas. He needs a Jorge Mas to do it with
He
him.
needs a Jorge Mas.
Who that is, I don't know.
I don't know if Messi wants to pull the Beckham card or if he wants to be invested in an already existing MLS team. He can certainly be part of the wave that Miami catches, and he'll like push the wave out when they build the stadium finally. I mean, there's lots of things. Maybe just
Do we know how
shift
much time is
ownership.
left on the Adidas deal with apparel deal?
They just signed an extension. They just
Well, there's
signed a
another
brand
reason
new
to do
one.
it then,
and,
right?
And it's like $650 million over the next 10 years or 5 years or something. I don't know. It's by MLS standards, it's good money. All right, so maybe Messi's coming here. Certainly, Don Garber's going to roll out the red carpet and
What's
break
the
all the
percentage
rules
you
and
put on
change
it?
everything.
What's the percentage you put on it?
Percentage? I think it's 50-50. I mean, it's MLS or the
Classic Jason
field.
Davis number.
No, it's MLS or the field. MLS has got a lot going for it as a new frontier, a place to invest. There are a couple of reasons why it might not happen because of, turf. Somebody mentioned turf. Lots of those things. He could always go back to Rosario and play for Newell's Old Boys. And, there could be a ton of money on the table from Saudi Arabia. But I don't think either one of those places is as attractive as a location.
I think
as Major League
Cristiano
Soccer.
Ronaldo took way too much flack for going to Saudi Arabia.
Well, I don't think Messi wants to be. I don't think he wants to follow in Ronaldo's footsteps, regardless of how much money is on the table, right? I think there's that. All right. The other news, and I had Nick prep another image for this, another Photoshop for us. Didn't know if this was going to lead. Turns out it didn't. But, Jared, Doug McIntyre of Fox Sports reported that Oguchi Onyewu, one of our favorite ever U.S. men's national team defenders, is up for the sporting director job with U.S. Soccer. And, I asked Nick to put together something for me. Have you seen Walking Tall with The Rock? With
No,
Dwayne Johnson?
I haven't seen that either, but
Don't
I'm
you think this
familiar
works,
with it
though?
at least. No, it
This
works.
works.
Oh,
This
yeah.
works. Okay.
If there's no American soccer player, you could put the head on the body of The Rock and come at least somewhat close, other than Oguchi Onyewu. Maybe DK. DK might be able to pull it.
DK now. But Gucci's
DK now.
taller than Gooch is taller than DK, I think. Well, I'd have to check on that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way off. But anyway, I also like this because, man's carrying a 2x6 or whatever that is. He's walking into town.
Yeah,
and,
that's for the Reina parents. That's how he deals with them.
After the whole Reina thing, I mean, we're talking metaphorical violence, not actual violence, but after the whole Reina Berhalter thing, we're cleaning up the town, right? We're cleaning up.
But okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate on this because, first of all, I'm intrigued. But is Gooch truly a different direction than what U.S. soccer has done in the past in terms of converting players to these roles?
Okay.
He's definitely a different generation, a different style.
Yes, different
that
generation.
is true. But it is in the same path of walking.
I think that, and this is just, and man, I can't remember if I've ever interviewed the guy, and that's not really going to be a full reflection of his personality and who he is, but he seems like a very thoughtful guy. He's always
very
come
prepared.
across as a very
he always seems
intelligent guy. Absolutely. I don't think he's taking shit off of anybody. Like, I really don't. He's going to, I can only imagine.
You see how he looked at Jerry Borghetti?
If somebody tries, I wish we had that picture. I can only imagine if somebody texts him about, hey, my kid's not playing. Can you do something about this? I mean,
yeah, I can tell you to get fucked. Like, get out of here.
Whoa. Yeah, we're okay. I just don't think I think in that way, I like this idea. I will say though, it is just barely enough experience.
You like it for, I think, surface reasons. Like when you ask yourself now, he's experienced at the top levels. Yes, he does, both international and club. He has that experience. He understands how the leagues in the world work, the structures in the world work. But if you're comparing him to some other people that were potential candidates, for example, Peter Vermees passed. Who else passed? Ernst Tanner passed. You can't say that they don't have more executive experience than Gucci Onyewu. I think Gucci's executive experience is extended just to the B level of Orlando. I think.
Orlando Belgium. He was in Belgium for about 16 months at a second division club.
So is it enough to make the case? Yes, but we're talking about maybe Thierry Henry levels of experience. Like if we were crapping on Thierry Henry, and you were more than me, but if we were crapping on Thierry Henry, this is the Thierry Henry version of the technical director job. You like everything about the person, you like everything about what they seem, but it is a what's it called? Like
See, I don't have any real issue with this potential hire if we're talking only
a cult of personality. I'm sorry, that's what I was trying to say.
U.S. men's national team and maybe even U.S. women's, right? Because I know this obviously whoever gets hired as sporting director is going to have a direct role in hiring the general manager and the head coach of the U.S. men's national team. And okay, so in that way, yes, I it's not that I worry. I think Gucci Onyewu could be as equipped as anybody to find a head coach for the U.S. men's national team. He'd have to sell it to certain guys. You obviously have to figure out what the pool looks like, what the profile of the coach looks like. Obviously, general manager, too. We have an in-place women's national team general manager, Kate Markgraf, who, by the way, should be a candidate for the sporting director job, too, right? Like, she has to be in the mix somewhere.
She would want it.
I mean, she's internal, so I'm not sure we get
it looks like it's a pay cut.
Well, I mean, I no, from general manager to sporting director, it wouldn't be.
You're right. She has McBride's job. Excuse me, not
right. She's similar to McBride, and obviously the women's team, for whatever reason, getting less. The executive, the leadership gets paid less. Blacko gets less than Greg by a significant amount. I don't know that it's necessarily there that I have an issue. It's the youth national team stuff, and sort of running that sort of ongoing technical effort. This job is less day-to-day, right, than a club job. So it's not the same as being.
I don't know. The youth stuff's going on at all times. It's never like there's a day off with the youth
stuff. They're scouting at all times. They're running camps pretty
academies
consistently.
running all the time.
Well, they're not running academies anymore, but
not academies. You know what I mean, though. Like there's constant things. I think that is probably the most day-to-day part of the job is the youth portion. And it still remains to be seen if there's going to be a general manager position or not.
Feels unfair to say it, because general manager will be more directly day-to-day involved in the U.S. men's national team, the senior level stuff. But it seems unfair to say it because I don't even really know. And maybe Gooch has maybe he's outlined his vision. Maybe he's presented, he's interviewed. I don't know. Would you trust him when it comes to the youth national team stuff? More than Ernie Stewart? Less than Ernie Stewart? Where?
I mean, at least Ernest Stewart came from a Philly background and a Dutch background, both of which are fantastic at building youth.
And a lot of club experience before he took that
so
job.
there is that. Now, what Gooch does have is that he is a product of the U.S. national team youth system. I mean, he played in Bradenton. He came up through that Project 2010 class. Like, he knows that part of it. Does that mean he can manage it? I don't know. And no one will know until he gets in there. It is a big question mark, bigger than a lot of the names that we've been talking about. But let's make no mistake about it. If Gooch is getting the job, it is cool. It's intriguing, but it also is third tier of options. Let's be honest. Yeah. It is probably third tier of options.
It's in terms of his experience, absolutely.
When you talk about some of the other names that have already turned down the job, the Peter Vermeeses, the Ernst Tanners, like there are higher profile people that would be more cut and paste than a Gooch would. But Gooch's ceiling, I think, could be higher. Just like when we talked about Thierry Henry,
that's the thing.
The ceiling could be higher, but the floor is lower.
A job that you give to somebody with that limited experience ahead of a World Cup in the United States for the men's team. And obviously the U.S. women's team already prepped and raring to go for a World Cup this summer, but you're going to be on top, you're going to be, in charge of that too moving forward and keeping them, at the top or above the rest of the world. There's going to be pressure in that situation. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think that the link between Gooch, who told Doug McIntyre that he wasn't going to comment on it, I don't know that this says that there's not better options in the pool right now, but again, people are mentioning the fact that Vermees and Tanner turned down the opportunity to interview. It says it shows that it's not an attractive job. I think that's more circumstantial. I think Peter Vermees is a guy who's super comfortable where he's at, and probably doesn't want to blow up the project in Kansas City. And I think
let's do our classic pick or poison here, and just let's find out exactly where he is in this. It actually is becoming more of a Marco Polo kind of situation, like feeling the depth of the pool a little bit here.
Yeah, I don't have that drop anymore.
That's
don't
okay.
do that anymore.
Ogechi Onyewu or Chris Klein?
Ogechi Onyewu. I know that's recency bias, and Chris Klein's got way more experience, but he's he's in a business role and really has been. He jammed Peter Vagenas between him and the club. Frank who was Teclosa was in there. He was running the soccer side. Chris was on the business side. Don't give him a pass.
Side. He sucks. Keep going. You made the right call. Ogechi Onyewu or Chris Henderson?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Now, Chris, he was second in command in Seattle. He's now got the con down in Miami. He's got experience, a bit of the national team
higher
program.
level experience.
Chris Henderson over Gooch. First, I think that's a no-brainer. Sorry, I think
Chris Henderson or John Thornton.
I think I would still take Henderson, but it'd be pretty
I think
close.
I would too, but it's close. I think the fact that Henderson has been able to go under, he's a Lagerwey prodigy. Like, that's the kind of thing that everyone knows. Gard Lagerwey is the gold standard right now in terms of club level executives. So Chris Henderson having success after coming in under Garth Lagerwey, I think that's really interesting. John Thornton is doing amazing things with LAFC, but I still, for some reason, Chris Henderson, it seems a little bit more appealing to me, and I'm not sure why, but I think it's very close. But I do think that when I said Gooch is like third tier, like we talked about, because you have the Vermees and you have the Lagerwey and you have the Ernst Tanner, which is tier 1. I think you have the Thornton and Henderson tier 2, and then you have Gooch, which is a very close tier 3 in that, and it's really experience that's making the difference there.
I mean, Gooch does have some experience in a club executive role, right? So he kind of is separate. I'm just saying he's separated from his peers from his national team era in that. And by the way, doesn't have to be a men's national team player, former men's national team player.
No.
It could be a former women's national team player, to be honest with you.
But you see the direction. I mean, U.S. Soccer is showing their hand a little bit. You see what they're going with. You know who they're talking to or who they tried to talk to. It is going the route of staying in this vein of former players.
Well, it's in the... Well, if you throw Tanner in there, what I think the common theme is people who are familiar with American soccer.
Yeah.
Right? Are familiar with the cultural elements and the makeup and and all of those, the structures, right?
This one from the chat, because we did miss this one. Ogechi Onyewu or Carlos Bocanegra?
I still take Boca over Gooch right now. I know look, I know the shine is off in Atlanta, and I'm not saying he's
it
made good personnel decisions, but he wouldn't be making personnel decisions for
So,
the U.S. men's
but is
national team.
Bocanegra in tier 2, or is he just above Gooch in tier 3?
It's probably at the top of tier 3 above Gooch,
Okay.
I would think, based on experience.
Hey, listen,
right?
the only reason I'm going to agree with you is because your boy wants a guy from
look,
the IE in that position.
Okay, so what I think is tough with Boca, right? Another guy I like, a guy I think is smart, has he lost all the credit for what happened with Atlanta in the first couple years of that franchise? Is everybody saying, "Oh, that wasn't him at all"? That had nothing to do with him. That was Darren Eales.
MLS is filled with executives that got a couple years right. There's not many people that can have established longevity. That's why Garth Lagerwey stands above so many other people. Different teams, same result. I mean, year after year after year after year. And that's not to say that a club coach, a club GM, needs to be the national team GM. It's just what we have as a sample.
It's kind of the natural place to go with your thought process is to a club executive in the American soccer circle, because otherwise you're kind of just randomly picking a club from abroad, or you're randomly picking names out of the hat. I mean, I don't know that I would have thought if Aguchianye was a candidate until his name came up. I don't think I would. It wouldn't have been obvious to me that he should be in the mix.
It's just the poise that he has. Every time he speaks on American soccer, I always feel it's so well thought out and so well.
He knows what he's talking about. But whether he can
he's
put that
deliberate.
into action.
He's very deliberate in his thought process, and I love how he has stood up for the things he finds to be ethically correct. That he's not shy about championing the fact that there's not enough representation for African American players.
Absolutely.
He is very good about taking that into account. And U.S. Soccer doesn't have a great track record with these things, where the women's causes, the Latino the representation, African American representation. It would be good to bring someone in that potentially can help U.S. Soccer start taking that next step into understanding that they've kind of sucked at this for 40, 50 years.
Yeah, it's that.
And also, it's a generation closer than McBride was, or anything like that, to the people that are now going to be playing at the highest level of the U.S. national team. Those guys watched Gooch play. They probably didn't watch Ernie Stewart play. The guys that you're talking to now, like there is a closer cultural element there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right in the sense that Gooch is a player that these guys now will remember. Mm-hmm. Whether that has anything to do with how he is in that job, or if
Tim Ream probably played with him.
Did he? Did Tim Ream play with
old
him?
enough? He's probably pretty close.
That's like 6 degrees.
By the way, like 44, 45.
We haven't done this in forever. It's an old school best soccer show bit, but we used to have 6 degrees of Jeff Cunningham. It's 6 degrees of Kai Kamara now. He's played for 10 teams, that dude.
It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. Yeah. And sure enough, he plays for Chicago. Didn't they get the win this weekend? I think they did. Was it 1-1?
They got a draw.
1-1?
They drew.
Draw.
But Kai Kamara set up the goal by being wide open on a set. Why would you leave Kai Kamara, of all people, wide open on a set piece?
So deadly
to play
on
back
set
across.
pieces, dude.
Absolutely terrible.
So we got 2 games stacked up for tonight. 2 games planned for tonight. Okay, one prep by me.
We do. Do you not want to take a dump on Austin FC because of their CONCACAF Champions
real quick.
League performance?
Okay, they lost. Listen,
you don't care.
I'm the guy that can't. Here's the reason. I'm a hypocrite if I do it, because remember the last team that lost to a Puerto Rican team in the Champions League?
Okay, well, Violette's not a Puerto Rican team. You're a Caribbean team. Is that what you're
Sorry,
trying
Caribbean
to say?
team. Excuse me, Caribbean team. I apologize. The last team to lose to a Caribbean team.
What language do they speak in Haiti, Jared? What language do they speak in Haiti?
French.
Okay, just check. I'm just checking to see how.
You think I'm a dumbass? What the hell?
You said Puerto Rican is Violet's definitely not Puerto Rican.
I accidentally, because I was thinking it was the Puerto Rican Islanders. That's why I was thinking. I forgot that it was Violet that they lost to.
Like I said, there's no.
Here's the difference.
Professional team in Puerto
read
Rico.
These stats this week. I remember from 2015. I'm not remembering well. I'm remembering 8 years ago it happened.
You're saying that. Wait, what are you
saying? I'm saying that we have two different lives. We live 2 different lives. You are living this stuff every day. I'm drawing on a 46-year-old's memory of 2000, I think it's 15, when I watched it.
Yeah. By the way, this is the thing about Austin. There are lots of good things that have happened in Austin. I'm still not sure about the Anthony Precourt factor and how I feel about that. But Kyle's pointing out that, yes, Violet is a Haitian team whose league is not playing because of how messed up Haiti is right now politically and everything else. And they were playing that game in the Dominican Republic because they can't play in Haiti. And Austin went down there and got walloped 3-0. And now there are those reports that say Violette's not going to be able to get visas to get to the U.S. to play the second leg, which means, I don't know, 3-0 forfeit, and then what happens? I mean, if they can't play, if they kind of forfeit the game because they can't play, I'm imagining CONCACAF will push Austin
It's
through.
one of the most CONCACAF scenarios there could be.
No, the most CONCACAF scenario that could possibly be is that a dog ran on the field during the game between Philadelphia and Alianza last night. That's the most CONCACAF thing.
Yeah.
What's
Is that dog
name?
so?
What's that dog's name? Any idea? Any thoughts? El Salvador. Could probably something Spanish.
I couldn't tell you. I'm not going to say anything. No matter what it says, it's going to sound racist. So I'm going to completely avoid that question.
I'll help you a little bit. So obviously, I have Spanish-speaking in-laws. Now, I'm not saying that the dog.
Oh, so you got a card you can play?
But I'm just trying to help. Okay, so I'm not saying that.
Well, never mind.
The dog naming conventions are the same in Puerto Rico and in El Salvador. Probably not whatsoever. I'm telling you this mostly because I want to tell you the name of my in-laws' dog. Okay. They got a dog. They named him, I'm going to say it the way they say it, Brandon. They named him Brandon. Brandon. They named the dog Brandon is what I'm trying to tell you.
I've met dogs named Brandon.
You have met dogs named
Labradors?
Brandon?
I've met Labrador.
It's
It's a Labrador kind of name.
He's not a Labrador. It's definitely not a Labrador. He's something. I think he's got some.
Is he a street
some
mix?
Rottweiler in there. Yeah, he's a big dog. He's a puppy. He's very fun, but he's a big dog. You cannot play with him. He will murder you just by playing. All right. Anyway. All
right.
You
So
want to move on then?
Yes. First game tonight. First game tonight is prepared by me. Nick has prepared one as well that Miss Morgan Tensel will be joining us for momentarily. But before that, we're going to play a game that I created a while back called Two Touch. For this game, as a perk for our Patreons, we put it out to the Patreon today. Does any of the patrons want to come in and play against Nick and Jason in a game of Two Touch? And we did have Mr. Steve Holler, but was willing to come on and wants to play. Now, if you guys in the future, if we do a game like this and you want to think, you listen to this show in your car thinking, how do these guys not get these questions? How are these guys not getting these questions? I would beat them every time. If you're sitting in your car, cocky as hell, how can you get on this show? Become a member of the Patreon. Next time we put it up there,
I didn't think about it before, just because it's so ad hoc thrown together. And by the way, speaking of the Patreon, I meant to promote the Patreon at the front of the show because I feel like maybe people don't listen to the back end of the show. Patreon is fun. Join the Patreon. There's a whole lot of stuff happening. I'm making Old Dad FC stuff, which is basically me talking about life and stories I have from soccer and everything over there. But I also wanted to say that maybe in the future, if we make the games and Patreon participation a regular thing, I can put up some of the stuff here for a prize, and I'll make it basically I'll take some pictures. And you can it's sort of like what was it? The Wheel of Fortune used to do that thing, right? Where they had the room that would spin around.
Beat the Davis. We can do like that. If you can beat the Davis, you get you get something from his room.
I'm asking you for help here, right? Because didn't they used to do that? Like Wheel of Fortune, you won Wheel of Fortune, and then the big room would spin around, and you would be able to pick things out of the room. Did that happen, or am I dreaming
the
that?
Case. I don't know. Maybe that.
Does anybody remember this version of Wheel of Fortune? If you didn't, if you're old enough in the chat, let me know. If you were if you're at home sick watching Wheel of Fortune in say 1992 or something. Beat the Davis phrasing, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Let's be careful about that. I'm already in trouble on this show for something.
Sure you don't mean Price is Right?
No, I'm not.
No, that's
talking
the Showcase
about
Showdown.
I'm not talking about Price is Right Showcase. No, this was a version.
This is some Old Dad FC right here, by the way.
It absolutely is. This was a version of Wheel of Fortune where there was like a room, and people would be able to pick things out of the room when they won their Wheel of Fortune prize. Like whatever money they had, they could spend it on stuff in this room. Anyway, I'll take pictures of the wall and of the things I have.
Without further ado,
we'll
can we bring our boy Steven, who's been so nice and waiting in the green room for a while now? Steve, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us tonight.
Not too bad. Glad to be here, guys.
Check his setup out. He sounds better than me.
Steve, if you're not talking up Deep Purple records in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to be very disappointed based on this setup you got here.
Yeah. Steve, tell me, has anyone ever told you that you look like Commander Riker from Star Trek: The Next Generation?
No, but now that you say that, I can mildly see that.
Nice. So Nick, Nick's playing the game. Otherwise, I'd have him pull a picture.
I have one too.
A little bit of Orson Welles too. A little bit of Orson Welles.
There's a little Orson Welles there.
Nice, dude. You're rocking it, man. That's some two good men to be compared to. Not Orson Welles humanity-wise.
I
but
just
like,
finished an Orson Welles doc on Netflix. It's very interesting from a couple years back.
There you go.
So, Steve, before we get into the game real quick, just to let the audience know, tell us your real quick 1 minute soccer origin story, and also how long you've been listening to the show.
Jesus. Soccer origin story, 94 Cup.
Nice.
Since then, I mean, literally MLS 1.0 was weirdly with from your end a Galaxy fan back in the day because I was obsessed with Kobe Jones.
Nice. As you should
since have moved to Seattle because I played college football with DeAndre Yedlin's uncle.
Nice.
So weird soccer connections. Been a listener to the show since I think the original end of things. So yeah,
nice,
been around
dude.
a bit.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for coming on the show tonight with us. Also, let's bring in Nikki Soup and Sausage, who's going to be playing this show with us as well. So, no second drop. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, how many
one
does he
job.
get?
The Sausage
one
King
job.
of Chicago.
Last time he barged on the show without warning. So I don't know, breaking the rules around here.
A little self-conscious, man. This guy's got a radio voice.
I know, dude. Well, trust me, there's only one of us here that doesn't. Okay, it's not you. Okay. One of us is an imposter. One of these things is not like the other. Okay, so to remind the fan base out there that how the game of two touch is played. Two touch is I am going to take a player's name. I think in this case, all MLS and or U.S. men's national team. And I'm going to combine that with a name of a movie, or in this case, we do have some that may be a famous phrase from a movie as well. Okay. And I will give you the context though. I will give you the plot of this new movie. And from that plot description, you will tell me what the answer is I'm looking for. So I think in the past, what's an example for one of the past? I don't want to use one of the ones I have here right now. Do you remember the ones I did before? Okay, how about, for example, Julie and Julia Carranza. That would be an option for one, okay? Julie and Julia. You've seen that Julia Child movie from back in the day? Oscar nominated. Just let you know. Maybe you don't.
Okay.
That's why I didn't use it now as an example, because I figured that it might fall on deaf ears here.
Julie and
Julian Carranza.
Oh,
you just have to combine into the next part of the name, okay? That's how it works.
Okay. Go ahead.
So you will buzz in by saying your name, so don't blurt out an answer, because then someone else will take it. First one I hear, there could be a delay, whoever I hear, and I will be the judge, final, don't argue. If whoever I hear first will get the first opportunity to answer. If they answer incorrectly, we'll go with the second person that I heard, okay? All right, first one. Is everyone ready?
Teams are we playing 1v1?
You are on your own, sir. Okay. So here's the first one, okay? A diminutive Italian attacker accidentally lets a grizzly into his angel dust stash.
Bzzz.
That's not how we play.
Jason.
Yes, Jason.
Sorry, I thought a buzzer. That is Sebastian Javin Cocaine Bear.
Yes, Javinko Cocaine Bear. Nicely done.
Okay.
1 point for Jason. Oh, I should have been keeping track of score. We'll just read it.
I got
My
it.
brain went to both of those, and I could not find a way to connect it.
Yes, Sebastian Giovinco
I like my buzzer better
Bear.
than my name, but go ahead. Okay.
Sorry. You should have had your name, your parents name you Ant.
What?
All right. Next one up. San Jose's leading scorer is standing in the rain outside Don Garber's window with a boombox over his head. San Jose's leading scorer is standing in the rain outside Don Garber's window with a boombox over his head.
San Jose's leading scorer. That's the part that's tripping me up.
Well, I should say, I apologize. 2022 leading scorer. Excuse me.
Yeah.
2022. Last year's leading scorer for San Jose.
Man.
San Jose's 2022 leading
Nick?
scorer.
Jason.
Oh, I heard Nick first.
Nope.
Nick, what is the answer?
Jeremy Aboba say anything.
Damn
That
it.
is correct. That is
I was
correct.
on
By the
that,
way,
too.
no one better be looking at the chat. We're going to start playing this game blindfolded.
And I was like, Chris Wondolowski, what movie is that?
Oh, you were thinking all-time leading scorer? My bad.
I was like,
I
is
was
this
going
an
like
accent? Chris?
Wondolowski 16 candles wasn't working, like wasn't happening.
Wondolowski Ski Patrol. That would have been freaking
that would've been-
fantastic.
Why are you giving them away?
That
Don't
would've
give
been
Sorry,
them away.
dude. Like it comes to me sometimes. All right, so we got Nick with a point. We got Jason with a point. Steve still was on 0. All right. How about this one? After being hit in the head with a ball thrown into the crowd by a New England defender, Harrison Ford has to try to remember who he is and what his life is all about.
Jason, regarding Henry Kessler.
Regarding Henry Kessler is correct, sir. It's a little insensitive to say that maybe he hit a fan in the head and they lost their memory, but there has to be repercussions for throwing a ball into the crowd, right? I mean, if you kick a ball into a crowd, you get a suspension. If you throw one into the crowd, I guess it's okay.
I don't know. I think it's all about intent, right? It's all about intent.
All right, Jason 2, Nick 1. Steve still trying to break that duck. Let's see. Here's the one that I was talking about before. An overpriced, lazy Los Angeles DP's catchphrase. He says as he travels back in time to kill John Connor before he's born. An overpriced, lazy Los Angeles DP's catchphrase. He says
Jason.
as he Yes, Jason.
Douglas Costa La Vista, baby.
Douglas Costa La Vista, baby. That is correct, sir.
Bravo.
So bad.
What is so bad? So good.
Very bad.
If you don't enjoy puns, this isn't your game.
This is just your attempt to get your dad jokes on the show.
100%. If you don't like puns, you're not going to be successful here. Okay? Jason out to a commanding lead. Okay.
I was like, Gio Dos Santos La Vista, baby? What?
Like Chicharito.
Okay. Well, Chicharo's not lazy and overpriced.
He's not lazy.
Well, just overpriced.
Not
Yeah,
overpriced.
exactly.
He scored a bunch of goals last year.
I don't know what he got on his extension he just got.
He is hurt, though. That's a problem.
Okay, let's see here. All right. See what happens when the crew's best attacker celebrates his goal by laying down cardboard by the corner flag and does windmills and head spins. And plus, since he scored twice this season, it's a sequel. See what happens when the crew's best attacker celebrates his goal by laying down cardboard by the corner flag and does windmills and head spins. And plus, since he scored twice this season, it's a sequel.
I'm
gonna give a countdown.
This is not happening for me.
3, 2,
Not happening.
1.
And I got the player.
The correct answer would have been Breaking 2 Electric Boogalookas for La Zellerion.
See, that's the opposite direction. That's why I didn't do it.
Breaking 2
I had the
Electric
player first. I'm like,
Boogalookas for La Zellerion. That's a hard thing to say.
well, you shouldn't. That's.
I just want to get Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo on the show.
I appreciate the reference, however.
Boogalookas.
Zellerion.
That's a tough one to say. I wrote it. I never tried to say it out loud. It's much harder to say than when I put it on paper. So I apologize for that one. That one's on me. Next one. This one's easier. Colorado's top scorer last year is lost somewhere on Earth, and the only one that can find him is the crack female detective and her a cappella sidekicks. Colorado's top scorer last year is lost somewhere on Earth, and the only one that can find him is this crack female detective and her a cappella sidekicks. I'm disappointed in you right now, Jason. I am so disappointed in you, Jason.
I don't even know who the leading scorer for Colorado was.
No, same.
You don't need to know if you know the other part. You'll figure it out real quick. At least I think you will. Did I have to give you a countdown, Jason?
I mean, I've got the second part. I just can't think of the player.
Talk
that
it through.
works
Maybe
with
you'll
this.
help a player out. Maybe help another player.
I should give it away.
Give it away now.
I just don't know who the leading scorer for the Rapids was last
3,
year. Carmen
2,
San Diego.
1.
Where in the world is Carmen San Diego something? Who is it?
Where in the world is Carmen San Diego Rubio?
Diego Rubio.
Oh.
That's why I couldn't remember Diego Rubio.
Acapella.
That's
You
from
remember
Rockapella.
Rockapella?
I remember
Rockapella.
Rockapella.
It's an a cappella group.
I know.
If I said Rockapella, I thought it'd make it too easy.
Oh my gosh.
Do it, Rockapella.
I love Rockapella.
Where
Yeah.
in the world is Carmen San Diego?
All right. Next up, I got 2 left. You guys have to win both to get up to check. Oh, I mean, Steve needs 2 just
Come
for
on,
sake
Steve.
of respect.
I
got
should have
nothing
done
at this
better
point.
on the last 2. I'm really disappointed in myself. The Diego Rubio thing should have been in my head. I was like, Jossie's artist. Was he the? Go ahead.
For the record, Nicholas Murray got it. Okay, let's see in the chat. All right. Minnesota fans are relieved to find out the reason he didn't report for duty is because he unfortunately got in a relationship with Mike Myers' dangerous ex-wife.
I got it.
Jason.
Nick.
Jason.
Oh,
I
you
said my
don't say I
name.
got it. Say your name. No, Nick. I mean, Jason. Do you want to be nice since you got a lead and
Do I
let
want
him
to be
try
nice?
at it?
This is cutthroat. What are you talking about? Look, if I got it right
Because
there,
part of me
he
wants
got
to
it
know
right
if
there.
Nick got it right or not. That's what I think
got
about it.
it
I
right.
probably want to.
He got it right. I'll say,
Okay.
I'll say the first part, and Nick, you can say the second part. Okay?
Okay.
I'll be nice that way. Emmanuel Reynoso.
I married an axe murderer.
Okay. Did you know the Emmanuel part? Or you're just going to say Reynoso?
No,
I would have
no,
been
the
okay if you
Emmanuel.
just said, as
I
long
would
as you
said
get the part
Reynoso.
that goes into it, I'm okay with it. So Reynoso, I married an axe murderer. Makes it hard to say. Jesus.
Apparently,
Lots
also
of Mike
difficult to
Myers
say.
doing his Scottish accent in that movie when he plays his own dad.
Yeah, you see him actually just
I don't know how
workshopping
many
ideas
times
for Austin
I've
Powers.
quoted that movie, but it's probably way too many.
What's
I
your
don't
favorite
remember
quote
what
from
the
there?
go-to quote. What's the go-to quote?
Oh, just
Oh,
anything.
his head's
that-
as big
the-
as something. Like what
I was
going to
say the whole head scene, like anything from there, like
check out the
orange
size
on a
of the
toothpick.
noggin on that one.
It's like Sputnik, spherical but quite pointy in parts.
That's a good Scottish.
That's good.
All right, last one. A Philly defender. Ready, Morgan? A Philly defender. For those of you who don't know, I actually looked down and her head actually did a take, like looking at the camera because she got interested all of a sudden. She wasn't listening at all till that
I can't
point.
block out the private chat now, too. All right. I can go to something else. Go ahead.
All right, a Philly defender gets recast in a different kind of football movie alongside such amazing stars as Scott Bakula, Hector Elizondo, Sinbad, Rob Schneider, and Jason Bateman.
Okay.
A Philly
I know the
defender gets recast in a different kind of football movie alongside such amazing stars as Scott
Jason.
Bakula.
Got it.
Yes.
Jason. Jacob Necessary Roughness.
There you go, sir.
Oh.
Almost swept the entire game, by the way.
Yeah.
Almost swept the entire game. Steve, thanks for
Good movie.
coming.
It's not a good movie.
No,
but I like that movie.
You know, I'm glad I could experience it. Did not offer much to the conversation, however.
Nah, well, you got the pipes, right? You fit in right here with me and
Maybe
Nick.
we need to rethink.
There you go.
You three think what?
Like we take a turn. We have, you know what I mean?
I thought you
That
were
way
thinking
he-
maybe
he's
you
got it.
I
rethink
would have
whether or not
failed
you should
either
play
way,
this game.
so it doesn't matter to me.
Steve, thanks so much for making time to come on the show tonight, man. I really appreciate that you came on. Thanks for having the balls to come on.
absolutely.
Because I'll tell you right now, as a person that plays games against Jason, it kind of sucks when a dude does this for a living and he's got all this crap in his head. It's hard to beat him.
Yeah, I also got the pop culture crap in my head. Like, I have to marry these two worlds. Give me some
you
extra
go.
credit for that. Like, the soccer stuff is definitely in there, but come on.
Oh, I know from the chat. Head down.
Heat, paper, move.
Heed.
Steve, thanks for coming on the show. But any shout outs before you go? Anyone you want to shout out?
I don't really know how to do this, but sure. You know, if you care about
Got a
Syracuse
homie?
basketball, what's that?
No, go ahead.
If you care about Syracuse athletics, check out Disloyal Idiots, our podcast. So
You know a guy with a system like that has got to show. He's got to show somewhere. You know
two
that.
actually. I also do
everybody
a pop
has a
culture show,
podcast.
the Multiverse Report. So
Multiverse Report. There you go. That
Okay,
one,
dude.
too.
There you
Yeah.
go. And that one,
Did you say
when
you
you
were a
guys talk,
Seattle fan?
yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna crush us this week.
Strangely
know,
enough, I did
dude.
not pick that in the Survivor though. So
another Patreon perk. We have the Survivor League going on over there, the Survivor Pool going on over there as well. Nick, I don't think you're gonna be as bad as you think. Your team created a ton of chances. They just didn't finish them this weekend. I think Seattle looks great though. Don't get me wrong. Seattle looks great. And by the way,
smoke and mirrors.
what?
Nick doesn't know how to be an optimistic sports fan. It's just not in his DNA. Like, he
I think
doesn't
that's
know
actually
how to
kind
do
of
it.
true.
Okay, I'm from Syracuse. We have the Bills and Syracuse, and like we don't believe in being optimistic here.
You had a
so.
good run of basketball in the late '90s, early 2000s.
That's all we've got though. We've also had
Hey,
football since the 2000s. So
And the
Yeah, I was gonna
basketball
say-
changed drastically today.
yes, it did, and that was why I was set up to record. So yeah,
Well, there you go. Go listen to Steve talk about Jim Boeheim. Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Steve.
guys.
Thanks for coming on the show,
Thanks.
man.
Coming on, appreciate it.
Here goes Steve. Good old Steve.
All right. So Nikki Soup and Sal is going to stay on because Morgan is going to join us for our next game. So Morgan,
Hi.
tell us, because we're men, we're stupid. What's
Yep.
today?
Today is International Women's Day.
Oh, happy International Women's Day to you.
Yeah, it's a stupid holiday
Oh, okay.
because women are
Every
You can
equal.
say
day
that.
is
Every day
Women's
is
Day.
Women's Day.
Every day is Women's Day.
Absolutely.
Period.
That's what you have to say in your houses. That's right. I understand.
No, not at
So
all.
what, in celebration of
I
that,
don't-
we've
I'm not
asked
allowed to talk
Nikki
in my
Soup and
house.
Salad. We've asked Nikki Soup and Salad to prepare a game of Rastafari. And Rastafari.
Is that how you say it? You say it Rastafari?
Rastafari, man.
Rastafari. Okay, we're
I don't
verging into
understand this
bad accent.
reference.
You don't know what Rast? Okay. Well,
Wait, well, you don't know what Rastafari is in
you
general?
don't know what Rastafari is?
No.
Like Rastafari, just the word without the
No.
soccer thing.
Oh,
Okay.
big reggae
Wow.
Jamaican movement. Yeah, you have to check it out. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
Rasta is like a whole religious component. There's a whole lot of music involved in there. All
I
that
believe
stuff.
is that the one that has based off of Haile Selassie? And
Yes,
I
Haile
get- yeah.
Selassie. By the way, you know that there's a player in MLS named Haile Selassie? Did you know
No,
that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. there's a
Rastafari.
plays for
John
the Fire.
Rastafari.
Marin Haile Selassie.
No way.
That's his name.
Huh. Nice.
I would just like to put it on record that I got half of those things in the last game.
I thought
Really?
I
Did
thought
you
her-
really?
Yeah.
I thought
Nicely
her
done.
answer of Cucho Hernandez Dance Revolution was
That
not
was a good
bad.
one, right?
It was not a bad
Okay, wait a second. So you tell me, have you seen So I Married an Axe Murderer?
No, I didn't get
Okay.
that one. But I
There's no way
knew,
you've seen Necessary
I
Roughness.
knew all of the MLS like halves of it. I've not.
Oh,
I
you
was
knew the
thinking Longest
players. You always
Yard
knew the
for that
players.
one, So I was
Okay.
trying to match it up.
By the way, I think it's only just occurring to me, and of course, things change like this. Like, you know, hippies. We had hippie kids, I guess, but they were kind of more wannabe throwback. There's no Rasta kids in high school anymore. That was like a thing when we were in high school.
Like where
Rasta
the drug
kids.
rugs.
Yeah, whatever that is. What is that?
Once
What is that?
Beckerman cut his hair,
The whole
There's this-
movement died.
There
We
was
lost
this
Beckerman.
movement where all
It's
these
over.
kids wore these things called drug rugs, and they were just like
Oh, like the beanies?
rug-like
Oh.
sweatshirts that like
Oh,
you
you're-
just associated with weed.
You're talking about. She's talking about the.
Wait a second. Now I think about it. Is there one good dread-headed, like MLS player anymore?
Sure.
Not a good one. A one who was terrible for your team
Not in
this past
USL.
weekend.
Who
What
else
about the guy in
is on my
Colorado?
team?
Doesn't
Oh,
Raheem
Breck
Edwards?
Shea.
Doesn't Raheem Edwards rock
yeah, I
some-
guess he got it's up high, so yeah, I guess it is though. Yeah, Raheem Edwards, you're right, does. But we just came from a time of Kobe Joneses and Kyle Beckermans. Who else did we have? We had Pablo Mastroeni. Like we
Paulo
had,
Mastroeni had some dreads. He did.
yeah,
Yep.
just no. Oh, Shalry Joseph.
Showery had some dreads.
Oh, some
Those were the
Abubakar has
dreads.
those dreads.
Michael
Lala
LaHood.
Abubakar does, yes.
Yeah, it's just not quite as. I mean, here's the thing: if Jordan Morris is going to bring back the Mike Pecky style bleached hair,
It's so
someone
bad.
needs to be bringing back the dreads as well. Like the
He can
being
do
a-
whatever he wants when he's scoring goals like he is.
That's
okay?
true.
All right.
Driving headers, man.
It's the
All right,
power
what
of
are we
Pecky,
doing here?
man. So what we're gonna play is
Rastafari.
Rastafari, and
All right,
Rastafari
let's play a
was
little
is,
Rastafari.
for those who don't remember, it's a game where Nick is going to give us a
let
iconic
me help.
team. Oh, sorry, my bad. I apologize. Go ahead, Nick.
You gave
Show's
me
a
the chance. You told me to
disaster.
prep a game. I was like,
Just
yes,
prep a
this is
game.
my
Didn't
time to
take my
shine.
job. Okay.
All right. Come on, Abe Froman. Let's go.
Okay. So the name of the game is Rastafari. I'm going to give you two choices between two prolific former, or I guess you could say previous women's national team triumphs. I'll give you
Okay.
the 2 years, and I'm going to let Morgan pick the year.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Now,
dangerous.
I will pull up the rosters
'Cause
of these
I would.
teams.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I will pull up the rosters of these teams, and we will rotate selecting or guessing names on this roster. The first person to miss is out, and then
Okay.
the next two continue.
Can we make one caveat, Nick? And even if you say no, I'm going to pull a power move on this and say yes, we are. Because it's the women's national team, can we accept both maiden names and
I knew this was
married
gonna
names,
come up.
please? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
I
some
may
of
have to
them
Google
names,
it,
some
'cause I
names
don't
have
know if
changed
it-
since then. Yeah.
I don't know if it's on this roster or not.
That's okay. We will all help if we name someone and it is both. But I just say we should accept both. Either one that you choose to say.
Okay.
Yes, basically. Yes. Okay. Don't look at the chat. No chat.
Yeah.
cheating.
All right,
just
what's
turned it
what's
off.
what's Morgan's options?
So our two teams. Let's go back to 2012, the Olympics in London.
Wow.
The
Okay.
U.S.
That's a hard
women's
one.
national team won the gold medal.
Okay.
And then in
Okay.
2015, they backed it up with a World Cup championship.
Yep. Yep.
You
They
get to
sure
pick
did.
between
They sure did.
2012 and 2015.
I honestly thought you were going 99.
I was
Well,
ready for 99. I was at that
I
game.
would've been
I was
screwed.
ready for it.
You know, I was
Yeah.
thinking about 99. I
So
didn't look it up.
I can
but I was
name like
thinking about it.
5 off the back of my head for 99.
After this on the bonus show, I think Jason and I should go back and forth, name that tune style, and see how many we feel that we can go off of
99ers?
that and challenge the other.
99ers?
Yeah, after bonus show
We
though.
doing the
bonus show.
99ers? Okay.
Bonus show.
So,
I might be able to get 3 or 4
I'm
from
gonna do 2015. I'm gonna do 2015.
2015, the World
Yes.
Cup year.
Yes.
More recent.
2012. I was struggling.
It's not even
I
more
was
recent.
struggling.
It's just like 2012 was more of a transition year, so it could be like 50-50, where 2015 is pretty.
I got a chance on 2015. Because 2012 was too weird of a transition between
That's
two
what just-
generations, and that was going to be so hard.
right.
So did you say that?
Mansplaining, because I
Oh.
literally just said that.
I talk over people.
There
I'm
are
sorry.
23 names on this roster.
23 names.
23 names.
Okay. Who goes first, second, and third?
I will start since Morgan picked. She gets to go first.
Ladies first.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you know, this was her most historic World Cup,
I
give or
need to-
take. Carly
Oh.
Lloyd.
Okay, so Jace, you got the ding ready?
I do. That's a ding.
You said Carly Lloyd. That is
Yeah.
correct.
Off the board. Who's next?
Jason.
Okay. I will go big name. I'll go Alex Morgan.
Alex Morgan is correct.
I will go with, at that time, I believe it was Julie Johnston,
Julie Johnston is correct.
a.k.a. Julie Ertz.
I would have forgotten her
Morgan.
maiden name.
Nah, I know.
Oh, really?
Because she's the reason I actually fell in love with the game. It was 2015 World
Oh,
Cup.
I see
actually.
why. She plays it so pure.
I know. Megan Rapinoe.
Megan Rapinoe
Is that
is
ding?
correct.
Yeah, I knew she's on.
Who's next? Me? My
Pausing
Yep.
for dramatic effect.
Okay. I am going to say Becky Sauerbrunn.
Becky Sauerbrunn is correct.
Okay. I'll go with Tobin Heath.
Tobin Heath is correct.
Who do I want to go with? I have so many off the top of my head. Hope Solo.
Hope Solo.
That is a deep cut I didn't think people would remember was on that team.
Was she? Did she already lost the job at that
She
point?
was third
she was
string, I
like-
think, that year. But she wasn't
She's
starter,
on it.
right? Was she
I'm
starting?
pretty sure
that
she was
year?
a starter.
She got in trouble.
Okay.
She got in trouble at the Olympics the next year.
Okay, I thought that
So
was
she
the
was
year
still
where
the
she
starter.
like. Okay, I didn't think she was the starter that year, but okay. But I knew she was on the
There's
team.
always a chance
She's
I
on
run
the
into
roster.
an injury buzzsaw here, so in my brain and everything.
Yeah.
But I am going to say, I'm going to say Ali Krieger.
Ali Krieger is correct.
That's almost why I didn't do Tobin Heath, because she's always in and out of teams. But I think she's made every World Cup squad. I
think
don't
she
think she's
has,
missed a
too.
World Cup squad. And so I'm gonna go. I'll go full Preeth. I'm gonna go Kristen Press.
Kristen Press is correct.
You got both Tobin Heath and Kristen Press.
Y'all left him on the board. What are you gonna do?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I'm going to go Kelly O'Hara.
Ali
Dang it! I
O'Hara
had that one next. That was my next one.
is correct.
All right, we're gonna start getting into some borderlines.
Where's I'm in trouble, I think. Carly. Okay. I'll stick with goalkeeper.
Dang it.
Hope was on that team, but I think Alyssa Nair was the backup on that team.
Alyssa Nair is correct.
Yes.
Don't do that to me.
I know the third one, so I'm gonna take it off the board before anyone else does. I know the third one. It's Ashlyn Harris.
Ashlyn
about to
Harris
say
is
it's Ashlyn
correct.
Okay, I know
Goalkeepers
that
Who
one.
do I want to
Alright.
go with?
Goalkeepers are gone. All right, those were my safety schools.
All right, Morgan.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
thinking.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, baby. Let's go. Okay.
Why can't I
Okay.
think it was. Oh,
You have
I'm
12
scared to do
of the
this one.
23.
I got
We're not
one.
even.
I'm really
just barely
scared.
halfway.
I think. Oh, I don't know if she was retired yet. I don't want to screw up.
There's definitely a couple of those.
I know. Okay. I think she's more. Is Crystal Dunn?
Crystal Dunn.
Was she not
I
there?
don't think
I
so.
think she just
I don't
missed the
think so.
cut.
I don't think so. She was still playing attackers then, as an attacker
Is
then.
not on the list.
I don't think so.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
no.
We lost a lady on Ladies' Day.
All right, so the rule
I
is
had
that
some over the other one.
Now,
In
if
order-
you two miss, she
Uh-huh.
can get back in.
She's back
get
in
back
if we
in.
both miss. Okay.
okay, so this is
Oh,
where
there's
I
no
think-
way we play out 23 though, right?
No.
There's no way we play out
There are some
23.
big names. Still
I'm
on
saying
So
Abby
whatever,
Wambach.
if we
Mine
can't
is
play out
Abby
23,
Wambach.
it's whoever had the most right is the winner, right? Okay,
Yeah.
because there's no way we're getting 23 deep on this.
Yeah,
All
Abby
right.
Wambach.
Abby
God
Wambach.
dang it.
That was
Forgot
mine.
about
That's
that
what
one.
I was like,
Correct.
I think she might have retired. Dang
Oh,
it.
that's
She
the
goes
World
like
Cup where
that.
where they had the goalkeeper took 1 second too long, the Canada game.
No,
huh?
that
And
was the Olympics.
oh, the Olympics. Okay.
God damn it. I should have went with my
Okay.
gut.
Now, hold on. I'm gonna keep this. This is a deep cut that Nick actually accidentally gave me a hint on. So I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket, not intentionally. I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket because I think I can get someone. Okay, I can't remember first name, and if I'm very close, it's a tough last name. If I'm close on the pronunciation, you're gonna give it to me.
Yep.
All right, Klingenberger, like Megan McKlingenberg or right
Yeah,
back.
we'll give that
And she's
to
a
you.
right back.
Give it to him. Give it
Give it
to
to
him.
Full
you.
back.
It's Megan Klingenberg.
Klingenberg.
He had
Okay,
it.
thank you. Urgh, take that, Jason.
Oh crap! I mean, I'm in trouble now.
I've got
This is
one
where-
in my head right now, and I have one
This is
possible.
where the end may come.
There's so many people
I just got one.
that are like
I just
on
got
the
one. A
border
big one.
of
I just got a big
retired
one.
or not.
I just
You're
got a
killing
big
me,
one.
Jared. Shut up! You're killing me. Let me think. Let me think. Because if I don't get it, you're gonna win. So just give me a second here, okay?
No, because we don't know how many Morgan's remembered since she's been sitting there. When she gets back in.
There were so many I have bordered, and I went with the wrong one. I'm so mad.
How's she getting back in? You got it right.
It's over for her. You got it. We both win an extra
okay.
round. She's done. It's only if I don't get this, you need
we
one to
both
win.
finished out on that round.
You
Okay,
can
gotcha.
win, but
All
can
right.
we try to name the rest of them still?
Yes.
Yeah, but let me see how far I can get first.
God,
'Cause I have more.
This is gonna kill me because I know there's like 6 that I'm just gonna be like, God damn it, God damn it, God damn it. It's a whole midfield group that is just not there in my head for whatever reason.
Yeah. Midfield's definitely where there's a center back we're missing that I have a guess on, but I'm not sure.
I'm gonna take a flyer here. This could be giving Jared the game. Ah, damn it. 2015 is.
We haven't done
8
the
years
captain
ago?
yet.
8
If I'm
years
correct,
ago.
we haven't done the captain yet. I think if I'm right.
You're probably right, and I'm probably just killing. I'm just anybody I can think of is too young, but I'll say Sam Ewis.
Cam Ewis.
Yeah, not
I don't
there.
think so.
Not on the list.
Yeah, not there. Too
Okay,
young.
I think
Too
I
young.
have 3 or 4 here. Okay.
Jared needs to get one here to win.
Ready
First,
to
I'll give you the
show
one.
off.
I'll give you the one that Nick gave me on accident. Like you did not mean to it at all. It had nothing to do with it. You said Morgan's name, and that in my head, Morgan Bryan.
Morgan Bryan.
Mo
When you
Bryan.
said Morgan out loud, it just generated that in my head. I think Morgan Bryan was on that
I think
team.
I think that's another one where my brain has already done the switch on her name, and I
I don't know how to say her new name.
I think it's Gotra or Gotro, something like
I
that.
didn't even know she had a
Morgan
new
Bryan
name. Is she right?
on the list.
Nice. Okay.
I met her
And
a
here's-
few weeks ago. Super nice.
Heyo. We none of us said Heyo.
Oh, Heather O'Reilly for sure.
Heather O'Reilly on the list.
Yeah.
Lauren
And then
Holiday.
the one I think
Lauren
is.
Holiday.
Stop! I'm playing here still. I'm trying to go deep. What are you doing? God dang it!
You-
Let me go
you
deep.
rained on
I'm
his-
still
Anyway.
playing. I'm
You
still
rained on his
playing. I'm
victory
not
parade.
out.
You're not still playing. You won the game. Just take
No,
the
but I want
win.
to see how far I can get. I can only have at least one more. Okay, I think it's one more. I think this is
All
the
right.
Perfect thing
captain.
to say on Women's Day.
I think I got one more.
Yeah.
You definitely don't have one more.
Oh, I don't.
Girl. Yeah.
So I think this was the captain. Was Christy Rampone on that team?
She sure was, and was the captain.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm not sure. after
Name
that.
that's I think was on it is Sydney LaRue.
Sydney LaRue. on
yeah.
I don't think
the
she played.
roster.
I don't think she played
Sydney
though because
LaRue.
Jill Ellis hated her.
Yeah.
You guys
And we're
ready?
missing another. But we're missing a backup center back, unless Julie Johnson was listed as a center back.
She
on
was
that
a
roster.
center
Might have
back
been.
then.
Yeah,
She might have
was.
been. We're missing a center midfielder for sure, or wide
For
midfielder.
sure. I think we're missing wingers.
How many
Except
did we
for
mention?
Rapinoe-
How many have we done now?
Rapinoe, Press,
19?
and Heath, right?
Have we
Hang
done
on, I gotta-
19?
'cause now I got to write down what you said.
We said Lauren Holiday. Someone said Lauren Holiday. I didn't have
God
that one. though.
forbid
I didn't
screwed
have
up.
that one.
You're like
Right?
you're a bad winner. Some people are bad losers. You're a bad winner.
I wanted the challenge of trying to run the gambit.
Got 18.
We have 18,
We're at
so there's
18?
5 left. God
Five
Oh
dang.
man.
Midfielders and defenders mainly, right?
Yes.
All right, so it has to be a backup fullback. So we only mentioned O'Hara and Klingenberg. And Ashton Harris. Excuse me, Ashton Harris.
No.
I'm sorry. You have,
Allie
you
Krieger.
have 4 left.
Ali
Krieger,
Krieger,
sorry.
not
Ali
Ashley
Krieger.
Harris.
That's what I meant. I meant Ali Krieger. So we have a center back we're missing.
Was Emily Sonnet?
No.
Nope.
No, she was in the range. She was around. She was
Well,
starting
because
to
she
be
played
around
like
then,
in
but-
6 She Believes, so that's why I
Yeah,
assumed she just
she was
like,
always
goes
like
back
the
that
roster
far.
player for quite some time.
She's still
there.
kind of on the younger side though, so that's why.
Is there a stalwart like Ambi Wambach that was on the last bit of that previous generation? It was
Probably.
Wambach. There was Rampone. There has to be
Probably.
another one that was still hanging on. Christine Lilly was gone by then.
Yeah.
My brain's just not helping me here. Just done.
Box was gone by
No,
then.
Box
Yeah,
I think is on the.
I think Box
Box
was
on
one
there?
I was trying to think of. Is Shannon Box on that
Shannon
list?
Box on there?
Shannon Box on the list.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was the one
wow.
I couldn't pull. I was like, there's a central midfield here.
Was
I'm
Markgraf
missing.
still there around then?
No.
No,
Okay.
she was.
Who else was like a long term hanging on maybe, or super young getting it? Oh, A-Rod. Amy Rodriguez.
Was
Amy
Amy
Rodriguez on the list.
Oh, damn, that's a good pull. That's deep.
Because I started
That's a
thinking the
deep
other way.
cut.
Who was super young, just barely made the team.
Yeah,
and that would be
that's
her and
that's-
Morgan
that's
Bryan.
A deep cut, right? Yeah.
You're down to
That's.
2
I think
names,
that's all I
believe.
got.
Two are they decently known names or are they deep cuts?
There are 2 names I've never heard of before.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's-
Well, give us positions.
Defender. They're both defenders.
Both defenders. Center backs. You know, can you tell there? You
Yeah.
can't.
Just says
No.
defender.
All right, I just turned on the chat for the first time to see if they're telling
Oh,
us
what are you
anyone we
looking,
missed.
cheater?
What?
Yeah,
We're going
man.
to say the last 2 now, right? No, you said
Oh,
none
we
of
were
us are going to
playing
know
it?
them.
Man,
Want the
you
names?
guys are-
Yeah, I want them because I don't know anyone. I don't know them.
Defender Whitney Engine.
Oh, we never would have got
God,
that.
I remember her.
ENG.
Never would have got that.
Who?
ENGEN.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Spell the last name.
Mhm.
And the last defender, Lori Chalupny.
Lori Chalupny. I remember Lori
man.
Chalupny.
I remember the last name for sure.
Yeah, of course, Lori Chalupny. Wouldn't have gotten there.
You know,
Never
one that
would
was
have
I was
remembered.
thinking in the back of my head too. Maybe was Lori Lindsay. I wasn't sure if she was around for that or not. She,
She
was
was
always
on my
cusp.
list too.
She was
She
always
was
on
very-
the cusp
yeah,
of whether or not she,
she
was
was
making
very
the
edgy.
What a
roster or
freaking
not.
queen.
Very
Yeah.
edge player. Yeah, she's awesome. Lori Lindsay's awesome. She's
Good
on
game, Nick.
Apple
Good
TV.
game.
She's an Apple TV broadcaster, right? MLS broadcaster.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
That's right.
Good follow on Twitter too.
Is that okay? So that's
I love her.
That's our game.
Union
That's
girl.
basically the show, right? Like we're tapped out now. I think that's.
Except
right.
you and I are gonna do a name that tune 99ers.
We'll do
on-
some 99ers in the
I
the
feel
bonus.
like I can do.
You
some
want in on it?
99ers. I don't know. I think I can name 5 right now.
Okay, well we can go to choose. I was gonna do it. Name that tune to Jason and I just see what
You guys
number
can
we
do
can get
it.
to.
You
But
have
we
fun.
can change it to Rastafari and just go
Man.
back and forth until we.
You want to
are
do
out.
it right now, real fast? I mean,
I don't
no.
know if
Nick's
it'll be
like,
real
nah.
fast.
There's
We
only
need bonus
20, I
content.
think.
If
Wrap
you
it
want that
up.
content, you got to pay for it, baby.
I mean, I think our personalities are the best bonus content, but that's neither here nor there. Okay,
most people say it's that Nick and Morgan join us.
that too. Okay,
Have
so
a young female point of view for once in your life.
since let me put out there that bonus content is only available to Patreon subscribers, the people we call the besties. You also get access to the Besties Slack, which is the community of besties who get together and complain about things like backups in their septic systems, and also share advice on where to go eat. in
Stepping
various
off
cities.
treadmills badly.
Also, that too. Yeah, shout out to Allison. I mean, just so.
I swear to God,
Allison.
she is Samuel L. Jackson from Unbreakable. Like she's
It's-
Mrs. Glass. I feel so bad for her.
I wish Allison the best. Everybody else dealing with stuff.
No one
in
goes to the
Slack.
gym more to get injured than Allison.
Anyway,
but
you
it
get
keeps her
access
going
the
back
Besties
to
Slack.
the elite doctors like Zlatan's doctor. Like
Yeah, she's
she
always
goes to
going to,
Zlatan's
like,
doctor.
Incredible doctors. Okay, so Bestie Slack access, best bonus show access. You now get Old Dad FC, which is basically me telling stories and sharing behind the scenes stuff and all that from just, I guess, my job in my past in soccer and everything else. We are working on other things as well, and also because we never really know for sure when this is going to hit the main bonus or main podcast feed. It's obviously available on video right away on YouTube.
Yeah, so if you want it right away, continue to like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when we go live.
The video version is probably the best way to get the show right away after it's done if you missed a live episode. But if you want the podcast version quickly, sign up for the Patreon. That's the best way to do that.
Yeah.
What else, Mr. DuBois? Am I missing anything
I think
else?
that's it. Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International
Go
Women's
kiss
Day.
your lady.
Yeah.
In a nice, respectful way. For once.
I mean, ask her permission for. Don't just like walk up to her. And just
I'm not gonna ask my wife permission to kiss her. I'm sorry. Like,
but
we've gone too far at that point.
But isn't it? It's incredible. Okay.
I'm not talking about laying one on her. I'm just like nice little peck on the cheek. Hey, baby, I appreciate you.
In the spirit of International Women's Day.
Hey, how about you don't honk her boob today?
Maybe she likes boob honking.
My wife does not like boob honking, so I am going to give her that for today.
I don't honk boobs as a general rule, so I don't know what you're talking. I don't have any frame of reference for this. More of a back end kind of guy. Anyway, in the spirit of International Women's Day, I think both of us would like to, express our love for our wives and the women in our lives. I will also say, my wife called me just before the show in that whole internet dropped out situation,
she called me too.
which was okay.
She said it says it's weird. She typed honk honk. I don't know what she would.
My wife is in Atlantic City with her parents because they were visiting people in New York and they stopped in Atlantic City. She told me she was not allowed to play blackjack because they didn't think she was old enough, which, just that's lovely. Maybe that's international.
That's the
about
dream.
a great birthday gift.
That's
What'd
the
you
dream.
say?
Talk about a great birthday
Yes,
gift.
that's what the first thing I said. Birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday.
40th
You're beautiful.
birthday to Kayla. Happy birthday to her.
Yeah, I don't know if she wanted you to share that particular bit of information, but
It's a big day. And if she can
is.
still be asked for a card at 40, congratulations,
That's true.
Mr. Davis
That's
as well.
true. That's what I'm talking about. Give me that shine. All right. Patreon.com/thebestsoccer show. What else? That's it? No, the reviews
That's
and all
it,
that
man.
stuff. We haven't really been pushing reviews. Do it anyway. Go out there, drop one on us. Tell people you like the show. Share the information. And, okay, we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Honk honk.
The horror show.
It was there. Oh, here we go. Saucing them up. Hit him. What?
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Oh, it's incredible.
Is that JTT?
OMFPG-13, it's JTT!
Duh and or hello.
The horror show.
Oh, baby! Get to the chopper!
Calm down, Greg. It's soccer. It's soccer.
Go to DEF CON 2.
Who asked those questions?
Jay Rodius.